Hello, everybody. My name is Douglas Leonard Armstrong. I'm the official head honcho here at Happy Texas Reviews. Thank you for you guys are watching the live stream. If you guys are just watching after the stream ends, so thank you guys also so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, join up as a group member. And today I'm bringing you guys a really quick review, something I know a lot of people have been really excited for me to review. And that, of course, is the movie Forrest Gump, the 1994 film starring Tom Hanks. So we're going to get into the positives and negatives and then give you guys my final review score. So, of course, this has been something that a lot of people, myself included, have been really excited to talk about and review. I know a lot of people have been like, when are you doing Forrest Gump review? When are you doing the Forrest Gump review? Here it is, guys. This is going to be a really review because honestly, I think I've only seen this movie, including this past time that I just watched it today to review it for you guys. I think I've only seen this movie like 4 or 5 times, so I haven't seen it a lot. It's not a bad movie, so don't say, "Oh, you haven't seen it a lot, so it must be a bad movie." It's not a bad movie. It's just it's a drag to watch. I'm like, even me watching it today was hard. It's a slow movie. There's no explosions, there's no big action set pieces. It's a very dramatized style of movie. That's not a bad thing, it's just I'm not all in for that. This movie is PG-13 and it is a drama slash comedy movie. And this movie is 2 hours and about 20 to 30 minutes long. So it's a long movie. Funny fact, this movie came out on my birth year, so that's kind of funny. Um, Tom Hanks gives a spectacular performance portraying Forrest Gump. So the movie Forrest Gump is basically the life story of Forrest Gump, and it's about him being as a boy, and he's got spinal problems, and he needs braces for his legs so he can walk around. Eventually, he loses the braces, and going through life, he finds, true love. Um, he ends up going into the army. He ends up fighting in the Vietnam War. He meets several presidents and whatnot, and it's just him ending up becoming a millionaire through deals or stocks or whatever with Apple. Him owning his very own shrimping company, and it was just really cool to see the stages of life of him going through from being a boy to becoming a man. Um, I liked the life is a box of chocolates thing. That was awesome. I think that's just one of the best ways to describe life ever. There is some Elvis Presley Easter eggs in this film, which I did not remember at the very beginning. But of course, we can never forget the Run Forrest Run scene and memes that this movie has generated. Um, what else? Honestly, this movie spent a great deal of time of Forrest being in the Vietnam War, and I thought that was kind of interesting that they spent so much time on that. I understand why, especially once you get to the ending film, but when you're watching the lengthy scene of Forrest Gump being in Vietnam, I'm just like, I sure hope this leads somewhere because you're spending so much time here. Like, this better have a very good impact on the ending, and it does, and I was glad for that. This movie also has a truly special and an amazing love story between Gump and Jenny. Um, what else? Two of the biggest life lessons that I was able to draw from this film, and I'm sure you'll be able to if you watch this or have seen this, is that you need to find a dream and chase it no matter what. And that you don't have to be the smartest person on the planet, according to the world, in order to become a millionaire. Some other things that I really enjoyed was, Gump and his shrimp boat adventures. Even though that was kind of like short lived, I kind of think it should have been a little more expanded upon, and I would have been fine if the runtime was longer because of that. Um, Also, I honestly think this movie would be better for you to watch if you're about 18 to 20 years older. If you watch this movie and you're like 14, 15, 16, there's also things in this movie that are more adult that you just won't understand or catch, or you'll be like, what is this? And you're just going to be like, maybe I should wait 5 years and watch it. I'm 25 and I've watched this film now 5 times or so. And I'm just like, I remember the first time I watched it and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I ever understood that. I'm like, now this makes more sense. And now I understand this, dialogue and whatnot. So it's just one of those films you need to keep aware of, that it's definitely a adult-oriented film. But you can watch it if you're younger. There's no like terrifying scenes or anything like that, except for one scene where Jenny puts Gump's hand on Jenny's breasts, and I'm just like, yeah, that's PG-13, and they don't show you it. It's all in your head mentally. But do keep that in mind. Like, if you're not prepared for that kind of stuff to be in a movie, or it's PG-13 and you think it should be rated R, just keep that in mind for your younger audience. Have that movie filter thing that's available on, and you can skip that scene, because it really honestly doesn't add anything to the storyline value. Last two things that I thought was really interesting was the shocking twist ending. I didn't see this coming at all. I didn't expect it, and when it happened, I was just shocked. The twist ending where Forrest Gump becomes a father. Jenny invites Forrest Gump over to her apartment, and she's like, hey, this is Forrest, and I named him after his daddy. And I'm like, before that scene, you're like, oh, Forrest Gump is not going to win Jenny's heart because Jenny married somebody else. And then you find out, no, when Forrest and Jenny did it that one night, yeah, little Forrest was born. So it was kind of a shocking thing. It just came out of nowhere, and I thought that was a really good twist that was in the movie. This movie doesn't have a lot of them, and so when that one it happened, I was like, okay, that was unexpected, and it was really good. This movie also has a very emotional ending. People do die in this movie, and when they do die, especially the last person that passes away and goes to heaven, you will cry. I cried a little bit. I teared up just a little because it's a very emotional ending, and just be aware of that. Of course, I would encourage you guys to see this movie, own and rewatch it. It's all based on if you really like Tom Hanks and you really like drama / slow comedy type of films. For negatives, this movie has a good amount of PG-13 language, especially for the first half, where Tom Hanks is younger and he's just learning the ropes of society, and he goes into the Vietnam War. So keep that be aware of that. There's a little bit of religious nonsense, especially after the Vietnam War scene, where everyone's like, where was God, and why didn't he protect me, and why did I lose my legs, but you get this Medal of Honor from the president and stuff like that. Stuff like that is in this movie, so keep that in aware. Honestly, there is a lot more dramatization in this movie rather than comedy, and it can lead to some parts of the film feeling really dragged out and can be boring. There's definitely certain times in the movie I was just like, I really want to skip this scene. It's taking too long. Move on, please. So I honestly think this film could have been cut down about 20 minutes and been a good 2-hour film. I think there's certain things that it took too long to get to the point. A lot of the jokes in this movie also, unfortunately, they were cringy. There was a couple of jokes that were told, and I just smacked my forehead. I'm just like, this isn't funny. This is cringe. It might have been funny in 1994, but in 2019, it's not funny anymore. So the jokes just haven't aged all that well. And then I don't understand why people hail Forrest Gump, the movie, as a masterpiece, as a classic. I'm like, it's definitely a good movie, don't get me wrong, but it's more dramatized, and it's about one person's life story, and that's not a bad thing. It's good for that. I just don't understand the comedy side where people think this film is good in that sense, because, I mean, there are some jokes, but they're cringy now. They haven't aged well. I just don't understand why people think it's a classic. I mean, I have it on DVD, and you will watch it maybe once a year or whatever, just for fun. but it's not a movie that I'm going to be like, hey, you want to watch a classic movie? Watch Forrest Gump. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to pick something else. Forrest Gump, it's a good movie, but classic, no, no. I'm sorry, but no. It might be a classic Tom Hanks movie, just because Tom Hanks does an amazing, spectacular performance and acting in this film. It's good Tom Hanks film. It's not a classic film, in my opinion. With that, guys, I'm going to give Forrest Gump a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening for Godzilla King of the Monsters review. Have a good one, guys.